There's a version of real estate investing where you spend most of your week on email, paperwork, and tenant problems. And then there's a version where AI does 80% of that, and you spend your week finding deals. Most investors don't know the second version exists yet. That's about to change. I'm Jordan Moorhead. I run the Moorhead team here in Austin. I've house hacked 5 properties, and I'm an operating partner on 100 plus units. So I've been at this for a while. Here's a clear-eyed map of where AI actually helps a real estate investor and where it doesn't. 6 categories, 2 sides, analyze and operate. Let's get started. Here's the framing. AI doesn't replace your judgment. It removes the friction that kills your judgment. Most investors don't fail because they're bad at deciding. They fail because by the time they finish the paperwork, the deal's gone. Or because the next tenant text at 9 a.m. here, 9 p.m. Saturday, there until Tuesday. Or because the spreadsheet was just so painful to update, they stop looking at the portfolio. My mentor says time kills deals, and AI takes the boring, time-eating, decision-blocking work and shrinks it to minutes. You still make the call, you just make it faster on better information on more deals. The investors who own Austin in 5 years aren't the ones with more money. They're the ones with better workflows. Here's 3 places AI changes the analysis side. Underwriting. AI takes a listing link and it gives you a realistic rent range, a full expense breakdown, cash flow at multiple scenarios, cap rate, cash on cash, and stress test in about 5 minutes. Old way, open a spreadsheet, type in 20 numbers, second guess the rent estimate, give up after about 3 deals. It's just time consuming. New way, paste, prompt, read. 20 deals a week instead of 3. And here's the part nobody talks about. AI is better at this than your spreadsheet at the stress test. It'll run rent down 10%, vacancy up, rates up, and tell you if the deal dies. Your spreadsheet just sits there looking pretty. You can make anything work on a spreadsheet. In the documents, every deal you actually pursue, the seller hands you 3 things: a rent roll, a T12, and a settlement statement. If you've never read those line by line, here's the truth. The seller is hoping you don't. The rent roll has tenants paying way under market. There's more vacancy than you were told. The T12 has repairs and CapEx understatement. The settlement statement may tell you how much they paid and how motivated they are, but you're lucky if you're able to get one of those from the seller. Most of the times they're trying to keep that as tight as possible. AI reads it all in about 60 seconds, calls out under market rents, restates expenses to realistic Austin numbers, tells you what you might be missing, and infers what the seller's true motivation looks like by optimizing the numbers right. You're not skipping the diligence. You're doing the better diligence faster. With comps and market reads, there's only one investors most skip, and it's the one that costs them the most money. AI doesn't replace the MLS, but it'll take real comps you paste in, adjust them for square footage and condition, and tell you exactly what price you need to be at to be below the lowest comp. That price is your offer when you're trying to get a good deal. Same for rent. Paste 5 active rentals nearby, ask for a realistic rent range, and ask what cosmetic updates would lift it to the most. A will tell you where to spend the money on paint, fixtures, and landscaping, not on the kitchen. Your contractor is about to convince you otherwise. In the neighborhood read, the current rental demand, who's renting this zip, what's coming in the next 24 months. If you tell it not to pump the market, AIs can be honest about the risk, and most investors don't ask for that. Now the side most investors quietly hate: operating. 3 more places AI changes the game. Tenant communication, late rent, lease violation, move out, move in, the application question you didn't see coming. Investors avoid these messages because the words are hard. You don't want to sound like a slumlord. You don't want to give legal advice you can't give. So the message sits in your drafts for about a day and a half. AI writes the whole thing for you. You don't have to do that anymore. When you are putting together texts, you just put it into AI. It will reword it for you in a professional, firm, neutral with the right hedges built in. So you're covered. You read it, change 2 lines so it sounds more like you, and send it. That text you've been avoiding all week, you'll send in 10 minutes. The relief is real. Maintenance, This is where you bleed money in tiny cuts. The tenant texts at 9 p.m., no hot water. AI triages it. Emergency or not, what to ask the tenant first and what to tell the contractor. When your contractor sends a $1,500 bid to replace a water heater, AI can tell you the typical Austin range for that job, what should be itemized, and 3 questions to ask before you approve the bid. Quarterly, AI summarizes your maintenance log. Which property keeps breaking, which contractor keeps showing up, where your dollars are actually going. You're not chasing every $200. You're catching the patterns, and that's the real money. All right, reporting and weekly review. Reporting, this is the one item that compounds. Most investors don't actually look at their portfolio weekly. They tell themselves they do, they don't. That PM statement that comes in gets glanced at and filed. AI runs a Monday morning briefing. You hand it the prior week's statements and your maintenance log. 2 minutes later, and you have a one-page brief. Occupancy, late rent, what got fixed, what's overdue, top 3 things to handle this week. 2 minutes every Monday. For the first time, you'll actually know what your portfolio is doing. Just set up an automated AI agent to do all this, remind you to get the info every Monday or Friday, and you'll get going. If you own 5 doors or 50, this single workflow can change more than the other 5 combined. All right, quick honesty break here because everyone else is selling magic. AI is wrong sometimes. It hallucinates a rent number. It quotes a tax rate that's 3 years old. It finds deals that aren't on the market anymore. It writes a tenant message that's 90% right and 10% off tone, maybe even against fair housing. Your job did not go away. Your job got more leveraged. You still have to verify the numbers. You still have to walk the property. You still have to pay attention to what's going on. You still answer the phone when the tenant calls back. With AI, the job just got there faster or more deals with less of your week being burned on busy work. And it takes a lot of stress off you too. Somebody on YouTube is telling you that AI runs a portfolio for you in 2026. They're selling you something because mine doesn't. And I've been pushing this hard for a year. I've been working on AI in our real estate portfolio for a long time. Here's the move. Pick one of the 6. Don't try all 6. Get one and get it going. The investors who try all 6 in week 1 quit by week 3. Pick one that hurts the most. How's your underwriting? Start there. Drowning in tenant text and just hate it? Start there. Don't know what your portfolio did last month? Start with the Monday briefing. Build that one workflow into your week. And once it's a reflex and it's working right, because this stuff doesn't always work right, then add another one. In 90 days, you'll have everything set up and going, and you'll get back lots of time. 3 things before you click off. 1, I put videos out like this weekly, talking about what actually works for active real estate investors in the Austin market. Subscribe so you don't miss them. 2, if you're in Austin, the Austin Real Estate Investors Meetup is once a month, free, no pitch. We do stuff like this live, and there's active real estate investors there doing deals. The link's in the bio. Make sure to sign up. 3, if you've got a deal you're stuck on, message me. I like this stuff. No pitch. Talk soon. Again, this is Jordan Moorhead with the Moorhead Team. We are your Austin real estate investing experts, and we are always here to help. Have a great day, y'all. Talk to you soon.